Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me? Oh, poor Sarah Ann. Look, she's out in the corner there.
I'm here.
So you finally got home. I see you are.
Yes.
So, Steve.
Yes, ma'am.
It's been a while now, hasn't it? That
Yeah.
have been using you.
Yeah. So basically, it's been over the 5 years. We put time and effort into basically just trying to turn them in and get the page. What were you going to say? When you take the page away? No. Basically, when they would request, what am I trying to say? Report them.
Yeah.
I'd report the page for like probably out of 25 to 100 in a month, which was kind of crazy because it took time and effort, and you saw your kids on there, and I kind of didn't care about myself, but then
but it's worse when they use the family, isn't it? It's much worse when they use the kids.
She's breaking up.
I'm always breaking up. I'm breaking.
I can't talk. I don't know what she's saying. What's that?
So it's always worse when they use the kids.
It's always worse when you use the kids.
Oh, yeah, because I really wasn't worried about myself, and then when I started getting deeper into it, you start doing investigations yourself.
Yeah.
I've actually talked to some of these women just through video chat to let them know, because they have me superimposed that we're engaged.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's her internet or mine, but
you want to
sorry, you're breaking up.
Yeah, I was going to say I can hear you fine. Do you want to try?
Oh, you can? Okay.
Get a better connection.
Yeah, that would be good, because I want to make sure that we get this out there. But yeah, I think we should be good. I think we're good now.
Okay. You see, the thing that worries me, the thing that worries me, Steve, about it is the fact that what a lot of people don't realize is that you have no say over this.
Yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't matter. I can bet that people have said to you, "Why don't you do something about it?"
Yeah, and at first we did. We put the time and effort into it, which actually took a toll on us there for a while, where I was taking time away from my kids. Seeing that the women were actually sending money to these people, wow, I just couldn't believe it. And I would personally call them. I didn't want to call too many, but I would call and pick out just a couple that were like superimposing me and their pictures, profile pictures, saying that, no, we're engaged, we're going to get married and stuff. And I'm like, listen, I'm like pleading to them. So what I would say right now to everybody that's watching, you have to pass the word on to everyone else that is being scammed, because if you're not doing a video chat like this, like I see who you are, then it's okay to have a relationship with someone like this. But if you can't see them or talk to them in any which way, and it's through text, and they're asking for money, I'm pretty sure 1% is probably real. The other 99% is probably not.
Yeah.
But if you're ever thinking about sending money to someone because you fell in love with this person, you really have to get the videos from that person. I've done it where I didn't know if I was being scammed by the scammers acting like women, but I would always say, hey, send me a video saying my last name or 2 fingers up before I even would talk to them.
Yeah. And the thing is as well that I personally have a difficulty understanding how you can decide to get married to somebody and you haven't met them.
Yeah.
You can have a romance if you want to. Personally, I would like to sort of sit next to somebody, but I think it's very difficult, and it wouldn't happen. And Steve, I want you to say the reason for doing these is I want you to say things yourself, because people say to me about the person they're being scammed, the pictures they're being scammed by, and I'll say, but he's in the United States and he's taken, he's in a relationship, and they say to me, well, how do you know? And I can say, well, I've asked him. That doesn't mean anything to a victim, but if you tell him. So where are you at the moment? I don't want to know the state you're in. Where are you at the moment? Which country are you in at the moment?
I'm in the United States. I'm actually currently still in the military. I do have two kids, and I'm engaged to Sarah. This is Sarah, by the way. Everybody can see.
Hi.
You see, the things
But-
I met Sarah because she had had a conversation with somebody who'd said that she was engaged to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a lot of the conversations I have when the women contact me because he won't respond. So they find me and then contact me saying, I'm engaged to your husband or we're going to get married. And I'm like, no, you're engaged to a photo of a person you don't know.
yeah,
You
and
know,
usually
like-
a different name. You know, it's very often a different name.
I would like to say also too, probably 80 to 90% of the women that we talk to are good, and they're just like, we didn't know, and we want to be on your side and try to turn them in. I had to be careful with that because their friend requested to me, and I accepted it, thinking that they were going to do. But 70 to 80% of the women are helping because they're upset about the situation. They don't want this to happen to anybody else. So if you're watching and you're doing that, I really to appreciate that because my picture is out there, but I think you're helping others. But what the scammers are doing is they're changing names, like Billy 1 Ford. They'll put Billy 2 Ford. It's the same name. So the other thing I would like to say too is that, the 10% of the women that don't believe it, hopefully this helps you. It is not me. I'm not contacting you. I have no reason to contact you. Beautiful, money, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. I just know that you're being scammed out of whatever your hard-earned money. But what I really wanted to say is that we do have some women that don't believe it, and they keep on putting me in their profile picture like we're together, like superimposed.
Yeah.
And you really have to be careful with that. There's even pictures of me, my head's on someone else's body, and you can tell it's like.
I've actually seen you as a general, Steve. So you were a general.
Can you say that one more time?
Your head was on the body of a general, and you were actually a general in the United States.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can see
really
it. So.
Need to pay, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I even joked around with some of the women. I said, hey, if you're just going to waste your money like that because you're not believing us, just send us the money and we'll give it to charity, and we'll work on that. But I was telling them I was totally joking. But I just don't understand the fact that when someone, I can see getting mixed up and not knowing at first, but not being able to communicate with somebody, like with technology today, and
that is a very good point.
I know there's loneliness out there. I know there is, and I definitely look at that as a factor. That's why I'm talking to half these women, but I just can't talk to 700, 800 women like this.
And
so I'm glad you have this together.
You really
What's that?
You really can't talk to everybody, and I personally don't think you should have to, because you've had no part in the scam. So it is between the victim and the scammer, really. And I wish they'd accept more. I wish that they would accept that it's not you,
Yeah.
Because this is a video call. If you can't talk to somebody like this, then and the thing is as well, when you start a video call with somebody, you always smile and say hello. It's a natural thing to do. And if the scammer is going to do a video call, they will play some video that they've got of you already talking, when it comes on. And it is just not right. Everything is wrong about it. Now, you've said where you are, and you're not in Afghanistan or Syria. And another thing that got the reason I wanted to do this, Steve, was the fact that a scammer has a very distinct way of talking to people. Now, I got a one from you, from your picture. It was a few weeks ago now, but I got one from your picture, and the first words that came to me was, "Hello, pretty damsel." Now, I don't know. Oh, that dog's beautiful. Oh, look.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, gorgeous. Yeah. Now, I don't know anybody. I don't know any American male who would address a woman as "Hello, pretty damsel." and
Yeah.
yeah, and you wouldn't call anybody babe or honey. I'm not talking about you. You might
Yeah.
be babe or honey. But yeah, you know, I mean, this is it. And one of the reasons to do these live chats was because to see how you are in conversation.
Yeah.
You know how you are in chat, because when I see their conversations with the scammer, you know, when you see the conversations with the scammer, it's all sort of stilted, you know, with a honey or a babe on the end, and then they can see that that is not how you talk.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's what, you know, when you said that, you know, Sarah shared me with a site you were having and going live. Hopefully, you know, people are probably been scammed before or watching, but if you're actually currently don't have a video chat with somebody that you're trying to talk to and giving them money to give to you, you might want to reevaluate what you're doing.
Well, my whole thing, when some of these women would send me texts that they've had conversation, even in the text, the English is so broken.
Yes.
And I'm like, you're supposed to be in a relationship with an American man, but he can't speak English. Like, it boggles my mind. It boggles my mind.
They say quite ridiculous things as well, like, oh, well, I'm American now, but I was brought up in Germany, or I was brought up in Poland. Now, the thing is that I'm European, so I know that German sounds nothing like Nigerian. You know?
Yeah.
And they'll say, oh, that's why I've got an accent. Well, no, it's not. You've got an accent because you're Nigerian, you know?
Well, the thing, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but, you know, I have never come across, and I've talked to a lot of them, an awful lot of them, and I have never come across one that's had a good American accent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I actually personally talked to one before, and we were just texting back and forth, and he basically got to the point where I was like, you're fake. I know you are. You know you are. And it got to the point he was just like, come on, man, just help me out. And I was like, there is no way that I'm going to do that, you know? So it's just something I wasn't. It was just so funny talking to that person. And sometimes I get angry, so I'm not gonna put it on here. But just telling them who they really are in my mind, you know, treating women like that. But I really look down to what the women are doing. You just have to be smarter in what you're doing with this. It comes back. What is the root of the problem? Okay, maybe you're lonely or this or that, but there's plenty of people out there that you can talk to. You just have to find that right person. And I suggest for you to find that person and not go by just words that are being texted to you, because it could be lies. And I'm not saying that they're all lies. There could be that 1% chance that it could be the love of your life. You're going to be married for 50 years. I don't know that, but there's.
But yeah, you probably met them, you know, and even if you go on a dating site, you know, okay, you're going to meet a stranger there, but if you go on a dating, but I don't know any man at all in your country or my country who randomly goes through Facebook or Instagram and says, oh, I couldn't go any further because I saw your picture and I really wanted to talk to you. A normal man does not do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they've got this thing about age is just a number. No, it's not.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't happen in real life. You know, I mean, I don't think you're going to swap Sarah for me, Steve. So,
yeah.
But it's a valid point that they might find a lonely woman and they might find a widow or somebody who's newly divorced and very unhappy. But in your life, you've got self-preservation and you check up on things, you know. So treat it like crossing a road. You wouldn't cross the road without looking to see if a bus was coming, you know. So why do you get into a really deep relationship with somebody you have never met when they can't prove who they are? You know, that is
Yeah, and the only thing I wanted to say, like final, was basically, please don't send money to someone you haven't actually talked to, and you really need to not be catfish, basically, or
Please
I'm being
confirm for
catfish.
me.
I should say.
Steve, can you just confirm something for me? I know the
Yep.
answer to this, but I want the answer to the person who's going to be watching this. There would never be any reason in the military for a man to need money.
No, especially if you're away because you don't have any bills or they feed you. So you usually have your BAH. You have, I mean, it's not like big money, but you're just not. It's mostly grocery money that you're not using there because you're being fed MREs and stuff like that. But some of your money comes back to your family. You know, you still take care of your family, like schools and food for them, clothes, you know, books, pencils, whatever. But you're still paying your mortgage. You're still doing this, and you know, if your significant other is not working or anything like that, you know, you're the primary sole provider. Then, you know, it depends on situations. You know,
but when a scammer is telling the victim that when they're deployed, they don't get paid, and that's a very, very common story. Now that could never happen because, as you've just
you get
said,
paid.
You've got to be paid.
You definitely get paid. It's not like it's not a lot, but it's enough.
Yeah.
Well, the last girl that contacted me said that the scammer had asked her to send money for the kids because they used his kids' pictures as well, and because the kids were in a daycare on base, and he needed to pay for that.
And he didn't have, so they'll take the kids on daycare at base, but they won't pay him so that he can pay the daycare. Yeah. You see?
Yeah.
You see, thinking about it, when you get sort of standing back from it, thinking about it, nothing about this makes sense, you know?
No.
But the thing is, Steve, it's so destructive. It's destructive for you. It's destructive for the woman because they build up this fantasy and, you know, the man becomes real to the woman. Because they're there, you know, morning, noon and night onto them. But there is no proof. They cannot provide proof of who they are. And what we need to get women to do is, if you can't prove it, well, you'll meet him when he gets back. But you've got to have proof.
Yeah, that's definitely the next step. That, you know, you honestly just need to move away with proof, because there's nothing's going to happen here. They're going to start a new name. They're going to get another woman. They're going to get the money, and they're going to.
We know that they're scamming 50 to 100 at once. So, you know, the fiance that, you know, contacted Sarah is not going to be his only fiance. You know, and the money these men make, the money these people make is eye-watering.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, they try to friend request me to get more pictures, and we know that. And obviously, you know, they use other women's pictures that are attractive or whatever to get me to be, okay, yeah. But I mean, I'm pretty sure, I don't know the game 100%, but I mean, I have had a couple of people say, oh, it's me just doing it. I'm like, no, it's not. I don't need your money. I'm not rich at all, but I'm just saying that I just morally, that's not, you know, the right thing to do.
No. And you know, thank you for talking to me. Thank you for being you, because that's what I want to get over. The fact that, you know, if somebody thinks they're talking to you, I can show them this, and it is you. And I can guarantee it's going to be an awful lot different from the person they think they're talking to. And Sarah, she's not divorced. You haven't gone off with his best friend, which is what I keep hearing, Sarah. I even heard once that the kids had to be in daycare because you were on drugs. They will say the most.
That's quite the life. That's quite the life.
It is, isn't it? But yeah, I think they say the most outlandish stories to see what they'll get away with. If they'll believe that bit, they'll go on to believe more. You know.
I do have a question. What are some of your viewers' questions that they have?
They're more or less just saying, you know, basically about the video chat, Steve. And they can't ever prove who they are. And you know, 6 months ago, people hadn't people hadn't met scammers. Now, this is a big thing. People will say, well, I've never come across them before. This is the first time, you know, when they've been contacted. But I think there's something always got to be in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
That.
Well, oh, go ahead.
Well, there's something got to be in the back of your mind. If you've never met somebody, proof. We're going to go back to that all the time. If you've never met somebody, don't give yourself completely to that person, because you don't know that it's him. And I don't believe in this over-the-top romance they've got, Steve. I really don't. I don't think you can get that romantic with a person that you've never met.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I mean, it could turn into something. I'm not going to say it won't, because there's probably cases out there where people have met and been married and have kids. That's great for them. So, I mean,
real.
that's the great thing about it. I will say that I've always had in my mind that I always wanted to get in contact with NBC or ABC and be interviewed nationwide and be like, hey, this is my face.
Yeah.
If you see me asking for money, don't do it, because it's not me. And I still might pursue that. That's why I agreed to do this with you. Hopefully it gets out to as many viewers as you have, but also, you know, the 56 viewers that you have, maybe they get in touch with 10 people.
Well,
one of those people.
We have it now, and then it goes on the Instagram page and the Facebook page, but also we've got a YouTube channel as well. So it gets to around 7,000 or 8,000 in the end, you know, by the time lots of people see it. So, you know, we do have a lady, one of our past victims, who's a fighter. She's brilliant, but she's just done some recording for Dr. Oz today as well. So, you know, some bigger shows are actually starting to pick it up as well, which is very good. It needs more exposure. It really does need more exposure, because, you know, from this side of the world, all we see is how much the Americans value their military. But I can't see anybody fighting for you. And they should.
Yeah, now it comes to this.
You know, it needs a lot more awareness, and it needs a lot more. If you're contacted out of the blue by somebody who says he's military, he's going to be fake. You know, so that's what we actually need. I'm trying to, you know, I've got varifocals, and you can't read all the bits, all the words that's going up, you know.
Yeah, I was hoping I could see some of the questions, because I'm not sure that our feed's not going on our end. So I don't know if that's something. It's not my phone, it's Sarah's phone. If I can start seeing some of the questions, I'm really interested in what's out there, because I think I've heard it all so far in 5 years, but there's always something new that I've heard where.
Hangouts.
Yeah,
I've heard Hangout. I've heard.
Oh yeah, I mean Hangouts. I've actually never met anybody who actually goes on Hangouts if they're legitimate.
I want to say that I have been scammed by a guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's
and some of these scammers that has my picture, they're not guys either. They're females.
Yeah.
Usually from Nigeria is what we're finding.
Yeah. They usually work in a team, so they're going to have a room full of people, basically.
Where's the bottom feed? Like, what's? Yeah. I definitely want to read some of these questions you have here, because.
So anybody got any questions for Steve? Because that would be good. And they're actually, they're admiring the dog. And Sarah, you're not actually coming, you know, you're getting beside you.
Annoying. See. All right. Before my daughter came, Facebook, she copied this last message where they have a time limit, and they said that the kids. Oh, yeah. You know, we do have a time limit in the Army, but we have time sometimes where I can call. If they're deployed, I can call maybe once a week or something like that. But that's like, you know, the time change where you're at.
Yeah, but you can do a video call. You're allowed to do a video call, and you're allowed to do a voice call when you're deployed.
In some areas we're allowed, some areas we're not allowed because of you know, where we're at. So
yeah, but Steve, you know, come on, back me up on this one. One of my complete hate of these is I'm on a secret mission.
No. Yeah.
Now, you know, if
I mean,
you
if
were
you
on
are,
a secret mission, Steve, I don't think you're going to be able to tell a stranger about it.
Yeah.
no, I'm not going to be able to have the time to even tell you that I'm there. So it's just
You're on,
like,
you're on a secret mission, but you're on Tinder.
you really, yeah, you really have to think like a general like conversation would be, hey, how are you? Great. This is me. This is you. All right. Hey, we're getting probably deep in conversation here. Send me a picture of you holding a number 2 up, or better yet, show me a video. Send me a video of who you are, saying my name. Like,
Yeah. I would think, do something like you want an instant selfie that they wouldn't have
yeah,
in an album of your pictures. So you want an instant selfie with him finger up his nose or something really stupid, but you want it then and you want it there. Now it's 2021. Everybody has a camera phone,
yeah.
and you could do it.
What does quite dishy mean?
Dishy is good looking. It's very nice.
Oh, okay. I was
I'm
reading that. I
afraid
was like,
my
they like the
dog's
dog
getting
too.
more attention.
Oh, Gigi.
So I'm trying to read the feed that's coming through. I just have to manually do it for some reason. I know on my phone it just comes up and I can see them. Depends on how quick.
Yeah,
They scam
we've
and they scram.
just got to get a general thing out there that it is not you. It will never be you. It will never be anybody in the. As far as I've talked to a lot of you now, and it's never going to be anybody in the military. You have more things to do. If you are deployed, then you're busy.
Yeah. Well, I guess what I'd like to say for your viewers is basically get this out and share it as much as you can. I shared it on my page. Sarah shared it on hers, and definitely, get my face out there in a good, in a positive way, because I don't want, any citizen of any country thinking that, this face is a bad guy just trying to get your money, and it's not the case.
That's what really gets to me, and it's, it's you get the bad reputation. They don't. They're sat in Nigeria. Then they have discovered the perfect crime, because they're not going to get caught for it, and they can make as much money as they absolutely can. So, Steve, get a load of your military guys together, go to a newspaper and expose this. That's what it needs. It needs a few of you, and it needs to put your feet down and say, right, come on, we want something doing about it. But yeah, we will. So I will let you go. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate it. I was just reading some more of your feeds, and they were saying they use other people's pictures. Yeah, and it's not just my face; it's other people's faces, and you're doing a good job.
Military need verified accounts. Well, that's just another thing that Instagram doesn't do, and Facebook, they won't even do it with us, and they know who we are. Yeah, and I mean, the thing is that, well, I don't know what to do about it, Steve. I've been doing this a few years now, and I don't know what to do about it, because all the years that I've been doing it and all the years we've been trying to expose it, it gets more and it gets bigger.
Well, I think one thing we could talk about too is that I see some people saying that please stop this evil scammers. I mean, we've been trying to do that. It's a full-time job, and they just create the same name with the different number on the end, and Facebook is allowing it, which they think it's a new Facebook member, which is fine. But there's things that we're trying to do on our end that is not good enough, except for, my biggest thing is if you are being questioned and texted, hey, babe, I love you, or something like that, let's get together, you really have to investigate your individual self. And that's where it's going to start stopping at. Yeah. Just like the coronavirus, it's got to stop somewhere. It's got to stop socializing.
Stop that, yeah. Yeah, it's got to. And, we've got to get people to take responsibility
for
themselves as well.
Yeah.
Because you can't just get carried away with this. Fall madly in love. You think you fall.
Well, they were saying why this is the military. I mean, it basically, like Rich was saying, it was like American citizens. We do cherish our soldiers. So women are, to the uniform. I guess I really can't answer that, but
it's trust, isn't it? They'll see somebody in a uniform. And they think, well, you can't hide because you're in a uniform, so you must be trustworthy. You must be telling the truth. You must be trustworthy because you're standing there in a uniform and you're representing your country.
It says here, but please don't judge scammed people. No, we don't judge them at all. We're just trying to help out. We're just saying, hey, you really need to educate yourself because it's going to affect you financially, emotionally, and it could cause problems in your life.
Well,
where you could have took that time and energy and met somebody else that's actually livable, that's alive, that wants to meet you.
Nobody's judging a scammed person because at that point, at the time that they got involved in the scam, there must have been a reason for them to get involved in a scam. You know, on one day they might have rejected the contact, on the next day they accepted it and got roped in. So I feel desperately sorry for anybody that's been a victim of a scam because you threw yourself wholeheartedly into it. But then you've got two victims. You've got Steve on one side and you've got yourself on the other side. The person that's doing this scam is in the middle and he's getting away absolutely free with it. And he's
just moving on
your money. Yeah.
Well, I'm Dee Glovin. She said it hurts so bad. You know, this is what we're trying to defeat is the pain where you guys don't get that.
Because
how do you not?
I mean, I know a lot of people that it affects them for years after, especially if they've got loans to pay off and things like that. So, you know,
I mean, you don't mind if I'm reading it. You know, Mariah, you don't mind if I read some of your viewers, okay? Just how do you not judge this evil scammers after what they do? You know, that's easy. You know, with us being, you know, followers of Christ, you know, we're going to be judged one day. We don't be judged by anybody else except for him. So we're not sitting here judging anybody. Are we upset about it? Yes, we're upset about it. We want to get the word out to our fellow earthlings, you should say, or whatever you want to say, our brothers and sisters here on earth, and just basically say there's a better way. So, you know, it's disappointing that, you know, it's all about money. The root of evil there is money, and that's what they're trying to get. They don't care about your feelings.
No, they don't care about the feelings. You know, if you think that they've looked at your pictures and thought, oh, he'll do. So they've got your pictures. They've looked on social media and thought, I'll contact her, and her. And then they've contacted them, and every single word that they've said to that person is a lie. Getting your pictures, they're doing it for a bad reason. And so you've got the sort of person that can do that. How can anybody do that? And Steve, they are very religious people. And one of the reasons they do so well is the fact that they use their religion a lot. And so they're trusted. You know, because if somebody's going to quote you the Bible, you're going to think he's a good person.
Yeah. And reading through some of these feeds here, I can see that, you know, women just want someone to talk to. And, you know, they don't care if it's lies or not. They're just going to, you know, okay, they're like paying for entertainment, basically. And there's no judging that. It's just the way it is. And I've been there. You know, I've been lonely before where I was overseas by myself and coming back over home, you know, but I can see that, you know, where loneliness comes in and they take advantage of that. And you just have to be careful.
Love is the most basic thing that everybody wants. We all want it, you know, and that's what they're preying on. That's what they're using. The most basic thing that everybody wants to feel there's somebody there that loves them, you know, and it's evil preying on that most, you know, the thing that's most important to everybody. It's very evil preying on that.
Oops. I must drop the camera, sorry. Melissa said she had one tell her that she's going to cut her head off in the villages because I called them out. I was like, man, they're just trying to scare tactic you. But you know what? You never know. But these days, like, they could find where you're at. And
I get death threats every week.
What's that?
I get death threats every week.
Oh, well, I'm sorry that you went through that.
They're always going to take me to the witch doctor, and then they do a spell, and then they tell me I've only got 3 days to live. That started in 2013, and I'm still living for those 3 days. So I'm not.
Can I ask what made you start this?
I basically 12 and a half years ago it is now, my husband died. He was a police officer and he retired, and I retired with him. We took early retirement. He'd done 30 years as a police officer. He'd been only a few months retired and he got cancer and he died.
Sorry to hear that.
Not very long after that, I did a Facebook page, you know, just me, and I put on there widowed, because it's not a nice word. You actually don't like to use it. So but I put it on there because, well, I am. So I am. And I suddenly started to get very attractive to American generals. Now, my husband was a very good and very suspicious police officer. I'd worked with the police. My background is I joined the Navy. So I'm ex-Navy, came out of the Navy, and I went to work at the police. I was a dispatcher, radio dispatcher. And so we like proof, you know, we like people to prove things to us. And so I just started to study it. Basically, I went into it very deeply. I started to study it. And basically, Sarah, I had time. I was angry. I was very angry. Somebody had seen that word widow and thought that they would do this to me. And I thought, no, you're not. And if I can stop you doing it to anybody else, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And it was as simple as that. But once you get into it, it takes over your life, I have to say. But yeah.
That's what we found. It's taken a lot of time and energy. And I've actually quit for a while. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I've actually lost my own Facebook page because they reported me being fake, and Facebook took me away. Yeah. I've been with them since day one, which I just have social media because my friends and family, they're abroad, so it's good to see them, their family growing up. I would never see their family or their kids grow if I didn't have social media.
This is it. You know, my son is still in the Navy, so you know, if he and you know, they don't live in my town, so it's just nice to get pictures of the kids and things like that every now and again. You know, so I just use it for that.
So Sandy Anderson says, I love watching this because it gives me proof that the person that's on the other end of the conversation is fake, and I have no problem reporting them. That's exactly what everyone needs to do.
Yeah. And the more we get people on our side, the more that we can just tell absolutely everybody that you know.
Well, we have women out there too that want that. Like, they just want that conversation in general, and then they are being scammed, but they're like, I think I'm being scammed, and okay, I'm being scammed, but I'm still want to do this because it's entertaining to themselves and what they're doing. And then even when you tell them even more, it's like they kind of shun it, but they also like yearn for it. That makes sense.
Yes.
So the lady we had the conversation with jointly, and the lady had contacted both of us, and she's like, I'm completely in love with him, you know, like, just, it was like she was obsessed at that point. And we contacted her, we FaceTimed her together, like, listen, you know, you're being scammed, like, this is the real Steve, and this is me, and, you know, we're engaged. And she just would not believe it. She would message me every day, like, I don't believe it, it's not true. And I mean, it was the point where she became so obsessed with, like, messaging me on a daily basis, I had to block her. And she had on her Facebook page that she was engaged. She was taking pictures that were superimposed of him and her as all her, you know, and people were like, I'm so happy for you. She's like, he's the love of my life. And I'm like, I mean, what else can you do when they just don't want to hear it? You know, you feel sorry for them, but it's like, you know, you've seen both of us. We've reached out and told you.
Sorry to take that, you know, your video is not playing. Sorry about that. We definitely want to get this word out. I think, Ruth, they can come back to this on your social media page.
Yeah, absolutely. What I'm going to do, Steve, I'm going to take, just at the beginning where it's just me talking, I'll take that off and I'll post it back again on Instagram, and, you know, we might do it again sometime. And just, you know, Pam and I, for the ladies that's going up, Pam and I are going to do a live chat tomorrow. So we'll answer our, you know, sort of questions, other general questions on there as well. Joe wanted me to tell you that the name of the group is Scam Haters United. The reason it's united is because I like football. Now, in England, we've got proper football with a round ball. Because
That makes sense.
We kick it with the feet. And I
No.
was watching, so I was watching soccer on television, and with a team called Manchester United. And I thought, we need a team. We need it to be teamwork. So, you know, it's not an off-the-cuff name, but that's what it's for. So,
give me a jersey, I'll put it on.
Yeah, I commend you for all your effort in doing this. Like, you know, that it's great what you're doing, trying to get it out there and be the voice.
We'll just keep
going. If it can get any bigger too, I'm willing to talk to news. Like, I'm talking about big news, not, you know, your downtown city news, but something big where it gets out.
Well, I've been in Boston. I've been on the news in Boston and Wisconsin. Not bad for a little old English lady, but yeah, certainly I'll you know, certainly try.
Well, I'm also open to if your viewers want to have like a Q&A session for an hour.
Good. Yeah.
And then if, you know, the questions that they still have, they can still message you and say, hey, I still have questions for Steve, and we can get back on, or for Sarah, or for you.
Yeah.
You know, I'll make myself free, or we'll try to figure that out, because obviously we do have a lot of people that's messaging here, so we try to read it all.
And then,
again,
you know, as I say, we get, you know, 50, 60, 70.
If we missed your message, it's nothing. It was on purpose. So
but yeah, we get sort of so many afterwards. So then we do get a lot of questions afterwards, because that's when most of the people see the actual video. Yeah.
Well, when you get those kind of questions, just if you want to organize something and kind of let me know, we can get on and answer those questions for like a Q&A. I kind of don't want to go over and over it again, but if it needs to be over and over again, that's fine. But I just basically want to get those questions answered.
Yeah. And sometimes we need to go over it, Steve. We need to go over it and put it out to people. And if you say it often enough, they're going to listen.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you so much to you and Sarah and the dog. What's the dog's name?
Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi.
And Peyton, we have two.
We have another one over in the corner over there, but she's on her bone.
I used to have a little chihuahua called Dobby, but I lost him last year. I don't know where my dog is. He's been very good tonight. I've got a little Shih Tzu called Brian.
Thanks for sharing in the events. I'm still reading stuff. I could probably be here all night doing this. So
I know, it's really
definitely.
good, isn't it?
Oh yeah, because you just want to help out. You just want to be like, hey, this is what's going on. Come on, be aware of it. And others need to be aware of it. Like, especially what opened my eyes is like, I never had a scammer before. Well, some of it's implied that you don't talk to someone that's not really like this in video chat. Like you're talking to them through text, don't talk to them like that. Or if they do, don't get so intimate or personal until you do have that video chat or proof. You know, so that's my
sorry, I'm laughing because my followers always know that on a night I like to have a gin and tonic. And they're asking me where the gin is. It's actually over here. So I'm going to have it afterwards. So, yeah. So Lady there said, thank you for sharing your story. And
great conversations.
Yeah. That is what we want. We want people to listen to your story, listen to you sharing it.
Yeah. Thank you for giving us time too.
But yeah, we'll do something else. We'll do something with a little bit more, as Steve says, a Q&A session. We'll, you know, give it a little bit more time so we can put it out, so we can get some questions, and you know, we can all get together again. And Steve, you will have to say the same things again. Pamela and I say the same things every week. I will keep saying them. I'd say them every day if it did any good. So
all right,
you know. So I will say good night. No, I won't say good night to you. It is good night to me because it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 1900 here, 7 o'clock here.
And we've got a lady from Australia, and so it's tomorrow for them.
Oh, thanks from California. Australia, I see that.
Oh, you know, it fascinates. I love to watch all the locations going up. It fascinates me. But
until next time.
Yeah.
You have a great night.
Okay. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Ruth.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.
So thank you very much to Steve and Sarah. I loved having the both of them. And yeah, it's a global problem. And but we've got the globe together. That's the thing about doing these, is the fact that we've got from Australia to California. Now, whereabouts else can you do that? So thank you, everybody. Pamela and I will be back tomorrow. So come and have a little chat to us. My gin and tonic's over here. So I'm going to have my gin now. And I will see you all tomorrow. And thank you very much for being here. Thank you. Good night, everybody.